All right, Stevie, let's focus on Liverpool here. A lot of issues. Where do you want to start, my friend? Because defensively it was a problem. We've been talking about how bad it was. Go ahead. Yeah, go for it.
I think it's very easy to. The problems they have, I think, are so obvious, and I don't think we learned anything new today about Liverpool. To be honest,
okay. So Stevie, give me number one. Give me the number one problem.
Whoa. No. Let's go a positive way, because, as I said, it's too easy to criticise them. We could start from the goalie and go all the way up front about criticism, but for Liverpool to have any chance of winning this game today, there were two things that might have changed it today. Number one was when they were 1-0 up, regardless of whether they deserved to be or not, when they were 1-0 up, if Mo Salah does a better job when Grealish runs 60 yards to cut out the pass to Jota, that completely changes the game. The other one is, does Rodri get sent off? That completely changes the game. So, if you want to spin it a positive way, those two things might have changed this game. Now, nobody that watched this game is going to turn around and say that Manchester City were miles ahead of Liverpool. But as I said, we could sit here all day and throttle Alexander-Arnold and the midfield and everything. But the truth is, in this game, as dominant as City were, those two things that happened in the game could have changed the course of it. That's the positive side.
It's all about the key moments, isn't it? Like Stevie says, if Liverpool had gone 2-0 ahead then it's all right saying City were the team that bossed the game, but they wouldn't have bossed it 2-0 down. So it's all about taking the chances. And, within 60 seconds, Grealish had, got to the other end and they said you'd scored. So it was moments, and that's what defines big games. I do feel with Liverpool, though, that they are so hard to predict this season. 7-0 against Man United, lost at Bournemouth, hammered today. You just don't know which Liverpool you're going to get. But equally, they could go to Chelsea on Tuesday and win 3-0. And that's what we just don't know. I think they'll beat Arsenal at Anfield next week, because that's what Liverpool are like. They're hot and cold, and that is what they want to be. That is what Klopp wants them to. But when they are hot, it shows you that a bit of tinkering, maybe a little bit more than tinkering this summer. I've just worked out they've got 4 midfielders out of contract this summer. And the other ones that aren't out of contract, Fabinho and Henderson, for instance, haven't played very well today. So they really have to address the midfield issues. They've got to find a replacement for Firmino. They've got a fullback to find. So they have got issues to address. But I do think when Liverpool are playing well, it shows that they can turn the corner with maybe 2 or 3 signings.
I think.
Well, go ahead.
I think what's surprising me more than anything else is that when things go against them, the response, it doesn't feel as though there's the right response. There's kind of a response, but it doesn't seem to come to much. I mean, the end of this game, they were playing out time, really, and Klopp made changes, but you kind of wondered why the changes were made, because it wasn't going to change the game. It wasn't like he needs to give MD a rest. It was almost like they were kind of seeing the game out. That's not the kind of response I'm looking for, particularly as a Liverpool fan. I don't care if we go on and lose another couple of goals. If I see a team that is angry and has a real desire to try and do something in the game, I'll accept things. But the way the game played out, and as Augie started by saying, the all A's, I mean, this has got to be about the 4th or 5th time this year that I'm sitting watching Liverpool playing and the opposition fans are all in. I mean, it's just getting old. And right now, Liverpool are pretty rudderless. They really don't look as though they know where they're going or where they're trying to go.
Do you know what kind of surprises me a bit? I bet maybe 2-3 years ago, everyone was talking about Virgil van Dijk as one of the best centre halves of the Premier League year, one of the best leaders. Well, he's still a great defender, but I was disappointed in him today, and I'm disappointed in Van Dijk when Liverpool don't win. He doesn't really seem to want to lead. He doesn't seem to want to be the guy that rouses players or just leads by example, leads vocally. I just think at times this season I'm not saying he's taking the easy option. That's the wrong thing to say. But he doesn't address the issue forcibly. I think he's happy for other people to do it. Sometimes he's allowing his teammates, his less experienced teammates, to make the decision.
And his defence, Augie, he's not getting enough breath to go around and sort all the problems they've got. I mean, where do you start? It's I understand what you mean. You want to see somebody on the field stepping up and having a go, but you know what? whether it's fullback, middle of the park. I mean, there are so many things going wrong. And of course, it's even harder when your own particular form isn't quite what it should be. So I think you've been a little harsh on Van Dijk. I understand what you're looking for, but man, they've got so many problems that where do you start if you're a captain on the field?
Stevie, it's something that you said, actually, wasn't it? After they demolished Manchester United, and here we were thinking, wow, is this it? Is this a turning point? And you said, well, look, let's just wait a second, because the issues of Liverpool are marathon-esque. It's not a sprint. There's a lot they have to fix. And by the way, Liverpool have now lost 5 of their 10 Premier League matches this year. Already more defeats than in the whole of 2022. This game today was a microscopic look of Liverpool as a whole on the pitch and from a project. So let's ask this question as we wrap this up. Let's go with you first, Stevie, and then Augie, you jump in. Stevie, it's not unrealistic, obviously. There's still a few matches to go. They've got a game, I believe, in hand on Tottenham. Can they get that Champions League spot?
No. The answer is no.
No chance. No. Augie?
Can't see it.
No, I mean, they're too inconsistent, but saying that, they've got a massive week. Chelsea away, Arsenal at home. I mean, but like I said, they could win those 2. I think they'll beat Arsenal, but I do think that the top 4 now is gone because they're just making too many mistakes and dropping too many points. And even though the teams ahead of them aren't in great form, I just think they've left themselves too much to do. They all started to looking over the shoulder as well at teams like Brighton and Brentford, because I know that Liverpool don't want to be in the Conference League, but they want to be in Europe of some fashion. So they need to keep their foot on the pedal to avoid slipping out of Europe altogether.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, okay, let's wrap this up with Manchester City then. They've closed the gap on Arsenal. Obviously that they're playing Leeds as well. Is this going all the way to the wire then, Stevie, do you think? And then, Augie, you jump in equally as well.
Yeah, I think so. Arsenal, though, are in absolutely the driver's seat. They can, City have to win every game to have a chance. Arsenal don't have to win every game to win the Premier League. I mean, that's a clear fact. And so I know which side I'd rather be on, and I still think Arsenal are real favourites right now to win the Premier League.
Yeah, I think Arsenal are the favourites, but I do think that game at Anfield is pivotal. I think they have to come away from that game without having lost, because then they go to the Etihad at the end of the month with that buffer. If they lose at Anfield, then I think City are going to put the foot down and keep winning games. So that for me, obviously the City game is crucial, but Liverpool is so much bigger at this stage. It's not the next game, it's the next crucial game, and they have to come away from that. And I think Arsenal at Anfield, for me, I wouldn't be convinced, because Liverpool will obviously be keen to get a result in front of their own fans. Anfield's a tough place to go, always has been. So if they lose at Anfield, I think I'll swing towards City again.
Arsenal's biggest obstacle.
Absolutely.
Well, Arsenal's biggest obstacle is Arsenal, but there's still plenty of action left to come, and I think maybe not being in the Europa League might be a blessing for them. We'll have to wait and see. But there's plenty more action to come as well in the Premier League this weekend, of course, with much at stake, including Europe and the bottom half of the table. Stevie Nicol, Mark Ogden from the Etihad, Luis Miguel Echegaray. Have a fantastic rest of your day, and we will see you next time. Till then, bye-bye.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN+.